Welcome to the third cyber tip. I am Doug Nagan, the narrator of these tips. I've changed the title to Cyber Tips, as I intend to touch on many cyber topics, including security. Today's being GDPR compliance. I hope you will find these tips interesting and useful. The EU General Data Protection Regulation, or GDPR, is coming on May 25th. Are you ready? That is our third tip topic, helping make sure you are ready for GDPR. But first, let's make sure it applies to your organization. There is some confusion about GDPR, but it applies if you process, capture, or store the personal data of any EU residents. Understand that personal data is any information relating to an individual. Examples include name, home address, bank details, posts on social media, networking websites, medical information, or a computer's IP address. And that is not only information you directly collect, but data that you harvest from other sources. If you said yes, then it applies. If you said no, you best be absolutely positive of that response, because if you are wrong, the penalties can be very severe. And by that I mean up to 4% of global revenues where the following have been infringed: basic GDPR principles, data subject rights, unauthorized transfer of personal data, and obligations under member state laws, and non-compliance with an order. So the risk you face could be large indeed if you ignore GDPR, and it applies. So, if you said yes, are you familiar with the following principles and terms? The lawful basis for processing. There are few, and they are spelled out in detail. Privacy in your systems by design and default. Consent. Data protection officer, data controller, and data processor. Pseudonymization. That's as hard to say as it is, which is the data that can only be accessed with a third piece of information, such as an encryption key. And the right to erasure, commonly called the right to be forgotten. And how about data portability? And remember that it's not only data captured, but data harvested. How about supervisory authority? Who has the authority? Who are data subjects? What is personal data? Who is a data controller versus a data processor? And what are data protection impact assessments? These principles and terms are key to understanding and be compliant with GDPR. And as such, if you'd answered yes to being familiar with all 14 of the principles and terms, good for you. That means you at least have a grounding in GDPR and will not be surprised on May 25th. If you answered no to any of the 4 principles or terms, then you best get familiar ASAP, as May 25th is coming very soon. I hope this quick review was useful and helpful. If you are unsure or want more information, try our course at the Global Risk Academy, GDPR Essentials for Risk Managers. The URL is below. To stay safe and know the rules, and if GDPR applies, make sure you are ready. This is Doug Nagan wishing you well. Goodbye and good luck.